Boom, welcome back to the Sebs Show, everybody. It's your boy Sebs with your co-host Gib.
How's it going,
And
guys?
today we are previewing UFC Chile, Damian Maia versus Kamaru Usman in your main event. And wow, I am actually getting pretty fucking tan from roofing, guys. I just took in my face right now. But nevertheless, we got, I believe, what is a 12. I think it's a 12 card lineup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, 13. Wow. So we get a nice 13 card lineup again. And
Yeah,
not bad, man. A lot of people are shitting on this card. And I don't know
why?
why.
It's
Yeah.
almost as good as the last one, actually.
Yeah. And great card, man. This is actually a great card.
Don't sleep on it.
This is a free card, yeah. And what Gibbs
Yeah,
saying, this is a free card, and you can't complain too much that this is as bad as not as bad, but UC 24's prelims and whatnot. They have better fights here. Like you got Vicente Luque making as back in action. Fucking Diego Rivas in Chile, which is huge. Like he's from Chile, so like
yeah,
that's gonna be a huge fight. Um, always fun to see Dominic Reyes in there, and he's facing Cannonier.
yeah, yeah. That's a good
So
fight.
some good.
Fireworks.
Oh, fight of the night for me, and a lot of people are sleeping on this because of the first time. The rematch of Brandon Moreno versus Alexander Pantoja. That's gonna be
I
a
was about to
fucking
fill
fight.
you in on that one if you didn't say that was an
Yeah,
awesome fight.
that's gonna be a fucking fight, man. And you fucking, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I'm leaning Brandon Moreno. I don't have a bet that on that play, but
Really?
I didn't bet
Okay.
anyone. I'm slightly leaning Moreno. I was slightly leaning Pantoja beforehand, but fuck, Moreno's just game as fuck. Like
From start to finish.
he just comes to fucking fight. He's just a fighter. You know, like he's just one of those Mexican pit bulls who's like a fucking monster. Doesn't know when to quit.
Terra.
Uh, yeah, man. I like him a lot. But let's start off with
Yeah.
the first fight, man. We got Claudio Puelles taking on Felipe Silva. Both guys recently knocked out Martin Bravo. Oh, this was actually a while ago. Almost 2 years time now, maybe about a year and a half. When Claudio Puelles over here fought Martin Bravo and he got knocked out by that body shot.
Yeah.
So not sure. I guess that was at and he's a small lightweight as well. So that's something that's like has to be known. And then you got Felipe Silva, who got crunched by Mairbek Taisimov, absolutely destroyed by Mairbek Taisimov. Uh, Kind of hard to pick this fight just because like Felipe Silva's UFC run, you have to do tape on this guy, which
He was
I
undefeated before that.
yeah, I did, and I didn't do any tape to watch his fights beforehand. I just skipped this one completely just because I watched both
Mhm.
his finishes. But Felipe Silva knocked out Shane Campbell in his UFC debut, knocked him out clean, and then really quick too, first round knockout, and then he gets knocked out by Mairbek first round too. So you didn't see fucking too much from Felipe Silva over those two fights. You didn't see how game he is, if he can go 3 rounds or whatnot. Um, I guess like if you found out that on tape study, like good for you, man. Like I couldn't find any of his other fights, or I didn't bother looking. But
Yeah.
yeah, Claudio Puelles is a guy. Like if I see you getting hurt to the body already, like Felipe Silva's a hard motherfucking puncher. That's the one thing I took from the Shane Campbell fight, and he punches like a fucking ant. Like literally, you can see Shane Campbell's eyes roll back when he gets hit with that really quickly. His eyes shut off really quickly, and I know that's like common, obviously, for the knockout, but that's like once they hit the floor or whatever. This guy eyes rolled back as soon as the punch connected, my man.
He's a scary opener.
Like like this, and he started rolling back. Like, that was some crazy things. I'm pretty sure it was that fight at least, but or I'm fucking talking out my ass. But Felipe Silva, I'm gonna lean with him on this fight, guys.
Yeah.
I just think he's able to get the finish here, and I think he does. And
Yeah.
shout out to my boy Kelton. I know he has him in a parlay, so shout out to my boy Kelton. Hope he hits that.
That's actually a really good pick. Felipe has Muay Thai on his chest, tatted. So, that should just be a little guess of guesswork of what he does. He's got really good kicks and he swings legs pretty much with reckless abandon, man. Just like a baseball bat. And this is why he comes out in the first round and just starches people. I think he only has one fight that went 3 rounds and he still won it.
Were you able to watch any tape of him before UFC?
He was pretty wild. He just ended guys like early and jumped between different fights. And the Shane Campbell fight was really his biggest step up from competition wise. But I mean, Maribek lined up a really nice shot, and that's his kryptonite. Like, he goes so hard in that first round. He's walking and running into every punch, right? And I think Claudio Perez, he's a good southpaw who has a good 1-2 sneaky backhand that he throws in the mix every now and then. He's open to a lot of shots, so I think that's why Felipe will eat him up. But he has a really good left middle body kick that I really like to see in any fighter who's southpaw. I think that's like an instant shot that you can land. He's good at following up on the fence, good single leg takedowns, even though tends to fake for a lot of them. It can be stationary, but if this fight goes late, he can get better. But Felipe, obviously he can go 3 rounds. It's happened once. Maybe it can happen again, but I don't see a lot of his weapons kind of dwindling down in the later rounds, especially with Puelles, because he only really has that 1-2. He's not really crazy with his combos and doesn't leave. So I think Felipe's got him just with lots of basic kicks and just with his activity as well.
Yeah, I agree, man.
Very flurry heavy, so always got to watch out for guys like that.
Yep. Next up, we got Henry Briones versus Frankie Sands, and this is a fight I'm just not interested in at all. Frankie Sands, they're both 37 years old.
That's true.
They're both 37 years old that are bantamweights. This is not. Frankie Sands should win this fight. Briones is trash like a jobber, but man, just something else that my boy Kelton pointed out. Like, don't be surprised if Frankie Sands gets clipped here and finished. Like, that's definitely a possibility. But yeah, I would not recommend parlaying Frankie Sands or anything like that. But he is my pick. I'm going with him. How about you, Gib?
Yeah, these guys are both reaching limits, and I mean, they have a lot of rounds in the bank. They both get quite a bit of on the losing end. Henry Briones has lost his past 3 fights. He goes for broke, pass or fail. He drops a spinning back fist every now and then. Bursted onto the scene with an uppercut win over Guido Canetti, who's also fighting on this card. I thought that was a pretty big win for a fight that he was losing. If you watch that fight, he gets hit to the body countless times in the first round. Like, it's pretty rough. And I think if that fight led the course, he would have been done. And he was able to get out of that. So I think there are remnants of something in there. I'm sure he's got a few weapons that are still sharp. It's just, as the age goes up there, you're kind of on borrowed time at this point. Frankie Saenz is another guy. He's a rough fight for a lot of people because he likes to match his opponent's pace, especially guys who bounce. He's surprisingly pretty good against them, while also optional, kind of does his head slips every now and then. Good wrestling. He gets in some sneaky takedowns and some back takes, and he can come up with some pretty big movements and be creative, like with a flying knee or a big kick. I think Eddie Wineland
Eddie Wineland knocked his ass out. No?
Yeah. Eddie Wineland destroyed him. So his chin's still kind of working. So it's close for both of them. I guess I kind of lean for Frankie Saenz in this one. I think Briones is reaching, but I think Frankie Saenz at least has fights that are a little more competitive.
Yeah, for sure, man.
So I guess I'm picking him for that sense. But again, he can get broken down and just hit on the button by Enrique. So.
Yeah, he can definitely get clipped here, and I wouldn't be surprised. Would not be surprised. Okay, next up we got Enrique Barzola take on Brandon Davis, a fight I'm pretty pumped about.
This is gonna be exciting.
Barzola from Peru has that grit, man. Trains at American Top Team. This kid is a fucking prime wrestler. Great wrestler he is. Finishes takedowns with ease. Very, very strong in the fucking clinch. Very strong. Yeah, man.
He can wrestle out of brawls really nice.
Yeah, and once he gets that double leg on you against the fence and he picks you up, you're going for a fucking ride.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, you're going for a ride. And his striking's good, man. He puts it together. He's got crisp boxing, lots of nice leg kicks he likes to throw in there. Brandon Davis, on the other hand, 1-1 in the UFC. Lost to Kyle Bochniak, kind of boring fight where Bochniak just bounced around on the outside and scored points. And then he took on Steven Peterson, and that was a pretty good fight. And then he also had that Contender Series fight with Austin Arnett. Killer B, man. He's dangerous. The kid's got some good striking, but he's not going to be. He accepts position on his back, I think, too much. He accepts laying on his back a little bit too much, and Enrique Barzola is going to be able to put him there quite a bit and often. I think Enrique Barzola's hit something like 9 takedowns in his first UFC fight, then 7, then 5, or an insane amount. He hits
he
6
high numbers going.
He hits 6 takedowns a fight. He hits 6 takedowns a fight, and I have no doubt that he's gonna be able to get Brandon Davis down as well. I think he gets him down, wrestles him out, and wins on points here. So I got Enrique Barzola. I got 3 units on him at -177 to win 1.69 units. Let's fucking go.
Ooh. Brandon Davis, real exciting fights. He has a style that makes it difficult for others to even keep up with them, and staying really well rounded and busy early with a lot of inside leg kicks and high punch count. He's a headhunter, and he's a tough fight, especially like we said, Kyle Bochniak had to bounce around him and just hope to be far away and play the distance game. He catches a lot of kicks, shakes off a lot of pop shots, and tends to take the odd clean jab or two. And he does trade quite often. But what I like about him is he shakes a lot of people, and it's the only reason he has no KOs is because he puts so many people in survival mode after he hits them that they're not out, but they felt it and they're just trying to get back, and they know that they got hurt. I can see it in a lot of fighters' faces when they fight him, and I think that he's gotten a few guys like that, especially on the Tuesday Night Contender Series. I mean, he has wars. Obviously, Enrique Barzola gets hit with a lot of leg kicks because of his wide stance, but will also go for catches every now and then. He's got a really good high kick, tends to show up from time to time, and that could be the game ender, actually. He stays right in the danger zone at all times, and that's what he's pretty much betting on, that you're going to be there too. And he can, at times, he can stagger from a shot, but he's really good at cross countering after. So this is going to be a really nice war. I can see Brandon Davis actually doing well in this fight. I don't know if it'll be a decision or somebody's gonna hit someone and
I think
go down. But
this goes all 3 rounds.
really, yeah. I think Brandon Davis has great wrestling and he keeps leg kicks up pretty decently. It's if he can keep those leg kicks and keep Enrique at that wide stance so that he can take shots. So I think he takes it.
Who, Brandon?
Brandon Davis, yeah.
How's he gonna deal with his wrestling?
Well, he has wrestling himself.
No, he doesn't.
Brandon Davis?
He's not a good wrestler.
He's been able to wrestle a lot of people who are good wrestlers and
like who?
Takedown defense. I mean, that's a lot of situational stuff, but at the same time,
man, it's hard when Barzola's coming. When Barzola wants to take you down, he's gonna take your ass down. I'm telling you that right now. Like, good luck with if he's able to stop Barzola's takedowns, then I'll take my L like a man, 100%. But I don't think he stops the takedowns of Barzola here, man.
There's gonna be lots of underhooks in this one.
I think this is battling against the cage a lot. A lot of battling against the cage. So I think Barzola works inside here, gets his underhooks, works inside the cage, goes for a nice takedowns, works his wrestling here, and gets the job done. Let's go, Barzola. Let's get it. Next up, we got Gabriel Benitez Mowgli take on Humberto Bandenay. Humberto Bandenay, man, last time we saw him, I think I max bet Martin Bravo, or at least 4 units I put on him, something like that. I want to go back and fucking check now, but I put like a pretty decent amount on him, and I thought Martin was gonna be able to go in there, just wrestle fuck him, and I was wrong, man. Fucking pretty quickly, you saw what happened too, because if you see even at the beginning of the fight, man, it doesn't look like Martin Bravo's all too comfortable with the striking at that point. You can see he gets hit once by Bandenay, and Bandenay actually Bandenay actually like gets juiced, and he hits him again, and then he sees that it's hurting Bravo, and Bravo is wants to go for the takedown, so he times this beautiful leg kick, and he's going for a head kick. Actually, he's going for a beautiful head kick, and he times it for the takedown, and boom, I'm pretty sure he was going for a head kick, but it turns into a knee, and he goes and he gets a knee on Martin Bravo, knocks him out clean first round, within like fucking
26 seconds.
Yeah, that's what I was about to check. Like 26 seconds. Yeah. My goodness, 26 seconds. That's insane. Because Martin Bravo was a high prospect, and this kid was like the biggest underdog on the card at the time. Yeah. So like, yeah, that was pretty big too. I just want to see quick what the fuck I put on when I bet on this fight, how much units I put on Martin Bravo. I just want to know.
I'm curious what the odds were that night. I'm sure it was on Martin Bravo, but by how much?
Oh, he was a minus 300.
Oh.
Yeah, I had him in a 4-unit parlay with Alexa Grasso.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to beat Randa Marcos. That was a stupid parlay. I should have played Grasso straight. Come on, Eddie. Get it together. Yeah. But Bannon, and if you watch his Peruvian fights, man, this kid's no joke as well. Fusion Fight Championship is where he used to fight. He's got a mean left hook, and he's decent with the wrestling. He's timed his takedowns really well. He's got good leg kicks. Comes in there with body kicks a lot. He loves his body kick.
Yeah.
And He's facing Gabriel Benitez, who loves to stay in a boxing range, box your ass up, give you hard leg kicks. Jason Knight, when I interviewed Jason Knight told me he is the hardest leg kicker probably in the UFC, something like, or the hardest kick, like his kicks are really fucking hard.
He blasts them.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. So yeah, just repeat the last 30, 45 seconds.
Yeah. After
his kicks, yeah.
Yeah, Jason was just telling me, and that was before you even like fucking stepped in there with him. He was telling me beforehand, like how he's just worried about like that part of his game exactly, and like he's beat some tough guys, Gabriel Benitez. And he went to war with Enrique Barzola. Barzola was able to take him down quite a bit in that fight, though. So, but he went all 3 rounds with him. Andre Feely, I think he got knocked out by Andre Feely.
Yeah.
Wow, he's actually faced another Humberto Brown. So that's cool. He's faced another Humberto in his career already. Yeah, man, I'm siding with Mowgli on this one. I kind of just like the guy, man. I just think he got the style to beat Bandanai. How about you, Gib?
That's actually a good pick. I kind of agree because I was looking into Mowgli's submission, and I really like his guillotine choke. So fast at taking backs.
Yeah.
His striking, and especially the single strike, his speed is really high. So his first or second punch is always off the hip. And
I think he trains at Alliance with all those Paulo Reyes and all those crazy Mexicans and Dom Cruz.
He seems like a guy who can get in and get out all the time. Likes to run sometimes when he stands, which I think makes him a little high up off the ground. I thought that's what ruined him in the Feely fight. But at the same time, he spams some inside leg kicks of his own, and he's a strong southpaw, and he's a pretty good stance, heavy on the front leg, and he has a really good side kick. But again, Humberto comes with a lot more weapons, and definitely ones that have proven to work. This guy's a bit of a puzzle because he was able to throw these kicks against Martin Bravo, and I even had Martin Bravo in that fight as well. And one thing straight off the bat is his single kick can put people away. No doubt. He might look perfect, but he really does swing for those fences. So imagine if he does miss a kick and how far apart his legs are. I mean, a pretty sneaky heel hook can screw you over. And if you look at his past losses, he's only lost by submission. 3 times he's been choked out, and 1 time he was heel hooked, I believe. He had 1 no contest as well. I haven't looked into that fight, but at the same time, I think he is beatable, and maybe facing a submission fighter who has a little bit of knockout power in the hands as well might be good for him to see if he can handle those guys like that, as well as seeing if maybe he can get out of these submission attempts. I haven't seen him in real trouble on the ground.
Yeah, man. Let's see. Next up, we got Pauliana Botello take on Suri Kondo. I'm running through this one. Suri Kondo beat Chan Myung John in her UFC debut. She fought for Pancrase. She's 6-0. She doesn't look all that great on tape, to be honest, from what I remember.
Her fight was weird.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember anything special about her. Pauliana Botello, I remember, is like fucking aggressive striker. who's like ready to. She's game as fuck.
Yeah.
And who did she beat? Mara? Or no, Pearl Gonzalez. Which most of that fight she was against the cage, but she beat the fuck out of Pearl whenever she got a free or she got some space or whatnot. I think she does the same here. I think she just lands a bunch of strikes and tees up Suri Kondo here for the win.
Mm.
How about you?
Yeah, Suri Kondo likes to trade shots a little too much. I think that's why her fight previous didn't go so well. She spams.
Won, though, no?
She did win. She did win a decision, but it was a tight one. It was a bit of a fight back and forth, and she beat a general like smaller fighter. They were about the same size, if not a little smaller, and she's never fought. And the thing is, Kondo has never fought anyone at the size of Paulina Botelho. She's actually very big, and I believe she's one of the largest fights that she's had. Most of her fights are against girls like 5'4" and under. She's like,
she is for the weight class.
She's like 5'6", so
or is she? She's 5'8", I think.
Possibly 5'8", like for real, but 5'6" in terms of stats on the internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just looked on UFC.
Oh, 5'8"?
She's 5'8", yeah.
There you go. Even so, yeah, huge height advantage. She's got a surfboard-like stance. Likes to stab the jab to the body. Before a UFC debut, she had KO'd like every opponent before that. Very tough to push around. Not really on the fence very much, but when she is, I mean, she's pushing them around. Strong in scrambles, good underhooks, and she's got a great spinning kicks and a nice rear teep. I think she has a little bit more weapons. Kondo might be decent, but I think I don't think she has what it takes to have stopping power in order to stop Paulina from confronting her a lot and beating her from a distance as well.
Cool, man. Yeah, I like Pollyanna as well here. Let's see a little bit more from her, so maybe next time we can get a bet down. Because I do think it's a mismatch from what people are saying as well too, man. Fuck it. Then kind of like a mismatch, but I just think this girl's gonna win.
I kind of looked into it to see if maybe Kondo did have something, and I mean, to me, it doesn't seem like it. But I mean, she's not terrible at all.
Yeah. Next up, we got the assassin baby, Brandon Moreno versus the cannibal Alexander Pantoja. This is a great fight, guys. And not much to break down if you saw the fucking first one, man. If you saw the first one, I know just action-packed. Moreno was beating Pantoja up on the feet. For about 2 rounds, beat him up for the first round, the whole first round pretty much, and then it goes into the second round, and he's beating his ass up for a little bit, and Pantoja gets his takedown, and he just works to his back, and he gets the submission after, and he finishes like that. But Pantoja's a very technical counter striker, likes to push the pace a little bit. I think in this fight, he's gonna be counter striking a lot more. He's gonna be utilizing his leg kicks. He's gonna be looking for takedowns at will, I believe, and I think Brandon Moreno's gonna try and keep his distance. He's gonna be being wild as he is. He's gonna be going for his takedowns as well. I think it's just gonna be a scrappy fucking fight, man. To be honest, and this is getting my pick for fight of the night. I think it's one of the best fights in the card. I'm not missing it for sure. So I'm going with Brandon Moreno here, and I think he has enough more tools in the box. I think he's the better striker, even though like Pantoja's the cleaner striker. I think Moreno might be the better striker, more output and everything. And ever since he's been working with Dwayne Ludwig, I don't know if he still does, but he's advanced a lot in his striking. Sure. Kid's relentless on the ground, man. It goes for these takedowns, and his scrambling is awesome. So he's really good on the floor. Against Pantoja, I think Pantoja's going to keep him a little bit locked down on the floor, so I'd stay away from that. I just beat his ass up on the feet like I was in the first fight if I was Brandon Moreno. But yeah, man, I'm going with Brandon Moreno. How about you?
These guys are both good on the ground, even though Alexandre ended it. But I think Brandon Moreno, he has that really good hands down style, and it's not something that you want to teach somebody when they first start fighting. Not something you want to expect someone to do. But man, does it intimidate guys who now have their hands up, now have to work because you have to address a problem right in front of you now. And Moreno, he does take a few shots, but the way he's able to bait and switch and keep throwing punches, keep unpredictable, and even keep it kind of he does bring his hands up at times, especially to block. But when he does to defend off the grapples or off the wrestling as well. He has a really impressive guillotine win over Louis Smolka. And he could be really sneaky and really impressive finishes. He really made Alexandre work in that first round when they fought. And normally Pantoja is kind of left alone to build his pace and kind of build his movement so that he can go in, go out, and win the fight. He's really good at, I think, pulling up submissions and decisions, especially from the back. After getting Dustin Ortiz back, slipped on a body triangle, isolating the leg a few times. With over 3 minutes of ground control in that fight, I believe, Pantoja really can wear fighters down who are not leading the action. But Moreno, I think it's going to be an all stand-up fight. And when you're baited into those fights of Moreno, he does very well. And Alexandre had to really kick up the pace in that fight just to keep up with him. So I think Moreno's got this. And I even liked his Pettis fight as well.
Yeah, I liked the first round at least. The Pettis fight was entertaining, and then after that, Pettis pretty much showed why he's better. But yeah, he had his back. He got his back in the first round and everything. That was cool. Next up, we got Zach Cummings take on Michael Trator Pereira. I said Pereira. Yeah, Michelle Pereira.
Okay.
Yeah. Pereira is a 155er who's moving up to 170 because he can't make 155. He's missed like a bunch of fucking times. Like literally missed. I think out of his last 3, he's missed like 2 or something. Or out of his last 4, he's missed 3, something like that. Yeah. So this guy barely makes weight, so he's moving up to 170 because he's a little bit of a fatty. And no offense, bud.
Gets his submissions in.
Oh my goodness, this guy is good with his submissions. On the ground, he works, and he's got a good wrestling. He's got a good blast double. Works with trips and takedowns, and he's just a smart wrestler as well. Once he gets top him, he's very heavy on top. I think with the extra weight, I think this guy is actually 200 fucking pounds. And he's cutting down. He's cutting down to 155, like an animal. I think he looks like he's at least 200 fucking pounds.
Well, even Zach Cummings is pretty big.
Oh, Zach's probably 200 pounds too, because he used to be a 205er, right?
Like 6'.
But Michelle Pereira is fucking. He's tiny, and he looks like a fucking a tractor. Like his nickname. Like he's just a little fucking gremlin, man. That guy's a monster. If Pereira can get this to the ground, I think he wins. He can sub him. I think he wins with top game. He's very heavy on top. I think he can win in decision if he just establishes the wrestling and whatnot in the ground game. Zach, on the other hand, if he keeps his shit standing and he stuffs the takedowns with Michelle and he just boxes him up, he can win this fight as well. This is a tough fight to call, but I'm going with Michel Prazeres here. I think he gets the takedowns, and I think he gets the win.
Mm. I think Prazeres is a good left hook and puts a lot of pressure on the side control, sets up his ground chokes really well. That north-south choke is just his signature move at this point. Getting 2 in a row like that, there's no question that's something he's really good at. Fast on the power struggles, both on and off the fence, chopping body kicks like the ones he did to Desmond Green, exploding a lot when he's in trouble. He's really good at getting out of certain situations, especially good power struggles. Both fighters have very good leg kicks, actually. And I think even Zach Cummings is a bit of a choke threat as well. He's a really good southpaw who has a lot of grappling potential. He's looking to increase. He looks to have a lot of more punches than you every fight. He always has volume, and he's always throwing. Just puts him at a lot of counter shots and not very good brawls, but he's very tough and tends to power through clinches and really good in power struggles as well. Picks up a guillotine choke over Nathan Coy that was pretty good, and has been getting submissions since he entered the UFC. He's been knocked down, losing 3 by decision and 2 by submission. Powerful low kicks. But I think it's going to be a battle of a low kick. And I think Zach Cummings is a pretty good armbar as well. So I think grappling, they're both kind of the same. I think Prazeres has the grappling on the floor, though. If he does go for that choke and be able to pass him, Zach Cummings has big legs. So I think he's got that reach advantage. And I say he stays on the outside most of the fight. He should be able to win this if he does that, and he's got a pretty chopping punches too. So,
yeah, Fight Metric has, I believe, Michel Prazeres, who has 4.28 takedown average, and Zach Cummings is a 1.3. So fucking
Prazeres, if he gets him down, that's it. If he gets him down, that's it. But Zach, he's pretty big, man.
Zach goes for at least 1.1 submissions a fight, though.
Yeah, no, that's not his, like...
He goes for a submission every fight, they say. So that's a cool little stat. Yeah. Next up, we got Vicente Luque, the Silent Assassin, taking on Chad Laprise. Vicente Luque is a guy who's going to give you problems just because fucking he's coming to war. He reminds me a lot of Zaleski dos Santos, and the fact that striking might not be the crispest, but it's fucking lethal, man. And he has a fucking, like, the bomb that guy put on Hector Urbina, and when he knocked out Hector Urbina, that was fucking serious, man. That was like, oh my goodness, the power in his hands. And then one does not simply knock out Bilal Muhammad as well. Like
flying knee?
Yeah, like good luck knocking out Bilal Muhammad. He didn't get a flying knee that night, did he?
He has one.
Who, Vicente?
Oh, just like the move, yeah. He throws the flying knee a lot.
Oh. I thought he has a flying knee knockout. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, but like he knocked out Bilal Muhammad, fucking, and like I said, one does not simply knock out Bilal Muhammad. Just choked out Nico Price in his last fight. Man, this guy, he's a gamer. He's coming to finish you. He's He's a gamer. And he's got a solid chin on him. He's actually a good wrestler too, but he's slick on the ground. I think Chad Laprise has got some good boxing, works on the outside really well, movement very well, good footwork, everything like that. Not the best wrestler or grappler, I would say, but when he's on top, he's got some good ground and pound. As you saw in the, I think it was a Glory Bavando fight, but other than that, man, fucking, he's a little bit chinny. From yeah, like something just he might not even be that.
Laprise?
Yeah, he's not even that chinny, but he's just a guy that makes me think he's chinny. I don't know why.
I mean, maybe he might look like he has a few fights that he fumbles, but his track record so far is pretty good.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But I mean, anything can happen.
When he broke Cajun Johnson's jaw in the Ultimate Fighter Nations, that was fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was lethal. But I swear he got dropped in a fight not too long ago. Was it Ross Pearson?
I think it was before he won the 3. He did lose.
I'm pretty sure he got dropped before. Not knocked out, I think, but I think he's been dropped.
Yeah, by Trinaldo.
Well, he got knocked out by Trinaldo?
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah. And then he lost to Ross Pearson in a split right before his like three fight kill spree.
Okay, man, and you know what? I'm going with Vicente Luque. Fuck yeah. I think he gets the job done. How about you?
Like I said, Chad Laprise is he's on a good spree there. Always has great punch, good stopping power, great technique. Dropped by Galore Bufando, 3-piece slowly, but surely powers out, handles the thrashing movements and taking mount, and he actually wins that fight. I thought that was one of the best ones to watch.
Which one?
Against Galore Bufando.
Oh yeah.
He actually got knocked down in that one. Like
yeah, that was the fight I was talking about.
Yeah,
I knew he got knocked down recently.
Oh yeah, he didn't lose that one, but he got up after. Yeah, it looked like he was gonna lose. He was out, man. And I think that's why I understand he's definitely chinny, and that's why I do agree. Vincent Luque kind of spots out over that. He throws that flying knee that I like to see every now and then. Uses leg kicks, many pop shots, likes to nickel and dime, and I think that's where Chad Laprise has his biggest difficulties is when people try to nickel and dime him back, because then he has to worry about the boxing, and then his wrestling might not have that that same effectiveness when he has to worry about boxing at the same time. He's a little bit fast, but very accurate for KOs. Like I said, over Bilal Muhammad and the Barbo choke over Price. He's a big grappling threat. His fight with Leon Edwards didn't go very well because Leon Edwards, he gave him a lot of time and he let Leon Edwards kind of dance around him and stop a lot. He wasn't really working. I think that's the only way he loses this fight, if Vicente starts to get behind and just doesn't work enough to win the rounds. But I think overall he has a lot of what can take Chad out, like the one punch and his kicks overall, his surprise knee. So
yeah, I like Vicente as well, man.
Yeah, Vicente
Luque. Okay, so next up is, and my phone just decided to stop working.
Oh, no worries. You want me to go to the next one?
Yeah, it's Andrea Lee versus Veronica Macedo.
Yeah.
Pretty girl. Both of them are actually gorgeous. Andrea Lee is gorgeous. It got some cakes on her. Oh yeah, this is a dime piece club. But Andrea Lee, KGB, man, nasty striking. I think she's a former amateur Muay Thai champion.
Yes, she is.
Is she?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought she was. Striking's fucking nasty, man. Legit stand up works her jabs very well, crowds you against the cage very well. Her body kick is dangerous. Her leg kicks are dangerous. She's got good combinations where she'll follow up with the leg kick a lot of the time as well. And this girl likes to go to the ground and play her submission game. She hits arm bars like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
She just hits them. She's won like a lot of her fights by armbar. She's dangerous, man. And she was the LFA women's flyweight champion before that. A lot of hype around this girl. When she was coming into the UFC, she was gonna I forgot who she was gonna fight, but she was coming to the UFC with a lot of hype. Had that USADA pop thing where she didn't before she popped for a drug that was like not cleared or whatever, so they gave her 8 months. Other than that, man, this girl's ready to fight. I think she's dangerous. She's here, man. Like if it's not more of a fade on Veronica Masato because I think Andrea Lee is very, very dangerous. But Veronica Masato doesn't have too much to offer. I think she's got her taekwondo with her spinning kick. She likes to throw a lot of spinning shit.
Yeah.
Doesn't use her hands all that often. Doesn't like to use her hands. She'd rather throw kicks. Andrea Lee could box her up as well with the Muay Thai. She's gonna stand very heavy on one leg as well because of the taekwondo, so she's gonna get leg kicks. And on her ground game, she throws herself in a lot of trouble going for heel hooks. She loves going for leg locks, heel hooks, stuff like that.
Right. That's right. That's what got her taken out, I think.
Yeah, and that's what she plays that game, and she played that game against Ashley Evans Smith, and she got TKO'd by Ashley Evans Smith. So just to show you what type of girl like she is, the game she plays or whatever. So I can see her going for those leg locks against Andrea Lee, and Andrea Lee going to the floor with her because she's not scared of going to the ground and just putting a beating on her. So I got 5 units on Andrea Lee here. It's a max bet. With 2, I actually have her with 2 people later in the card, but yeah, it's a max bet for me. I'm very, very pumped about this one. Mm-hmm. I think Andrea Lee gets it done.
Yeah. Another one I completely agree with. I think Veronica can be surprising with her spinning back kick. Again, I think it's a move that a lot of people want, and it's a move a lot of people are just trying to practice repetitively just to do it once properly. She's very creative. Unfortunately, against Ashley Evans Smith, the leg submissions and knee bar that she tried to attempt just wasn't enough and not intricate enough that Smith could get out of it. Again, she's got a few pop shots. She has really good starting rounds. If you give her space, she could probably unload any kick that she wants and be able to have that bounce momentum and maybe even make you tired by having you chase her around. But Andrea Lee comes from Invicta, Muay Thai kickboxing, real good in with the clinch knees, a lot of good back takes. When she starts to get her opponent on the fence, she's very fast at getting back to her feet, and she's very good at powering through other people's sweep after being swept on the bottom. Her punches are very methodical because she does a lot of 1-2s, but they can always change. For example, it might be a jab, uppercut, right hand, left hook. She kind of plays around with it, and combined with her kicks, combined with some of her spin kicks that she even has, she's pretty deadly. And I think as long as she doesn't get too fancy, use a lot of her just basic Muay Thai, I think she doesn't have very much trouble either taking out Veronica or pretty much dominating the fight most rounds. So yeah, I see Andrea Lee pretty much taking this. Yeah,
let's get it, Andrea Lee. Next up, Diego Rivas, the Pitbull against Guido Canetti. This is Diego Rivas all fucking day. In Chile. My man's in Chile. He's got a great counter striking game. He plays very strong. The kid's got knockout power. Even if you don't see it, I get like he's got some knockout power. He's got some good wrestling. He put hands on fucking who was it? He got handled by Jose Quinones, but the timing of his flying knee against Noah Lahat.
That's crazy, right?
Oh my goodness, that knee! What a knee that was! But so this guy's got the timing down, the speed, everything, his age, everything points to good stuff towards this guy. And Guido Canetti, it's a pretty much a fade on Guido Canetti, a guy who's not it tends to fade after a round or two. Not the best gas tank. He's old, man. He's like 38 years old, coming out of Team Alpha Male. He been popped multiple times for drugs, for like steroids and shit. So he's a fucking USADA victim and a half. Not much more I can say about this guy, man. Tapped against Kungo Kang. Kungo Kang had him in a nasty triangle, tapped him out, and then Briones got this rear naked choke before it was even locked up. This guy's tapping. This guy's already calling it quits before fucking Briones even has that shit locked up. So fucking, I don't know, man, about this guy. I wouldn't be too sure about a quitter.
Questionable.
I feel good about Diego Rivas in Chile. I think he gets the job done, and I think he actually knocks out Guido Canetti. Let's fucking get it. I think he knocks him out. Let's go. So Diego Rivas, I got 4.5 units at minus 150 to win 3 units.
Nice. The ninja southpaw really likes to lean back. Canetti, he likes to kick from his left, puts fighters on the defense, and again, really mixes in those body shots. Just torches you with them. He has to keep those up, and to do that, again, age kind of comes into effect, and his stamina does tend to run out just competing with people in those early rounds. I think early rounds tend to be either extremely high impact, high speeds, lots of faking, lots of in outs, and lots of big moves performed. And you just don't know if it's going to end in that early round. So you're very competitive, and you like to keep your pace high. And Guido Canetti, he's just going to run that course. And unless he's landing those body shots all the time, and unless he's really connecting, he won't be able to control Diego Rivas the way he wants to, or any fighter, in order to do well in later rounds or even end the fight. He has trouble when he is being mounted and being put in submissions. He did very well when he first came in, but obviously now he's with the USADA ban not exactly on his side. Rivas is well under pressure, being put in a lot of submission trouble early in that fight, and starts around with the knee and got it. Was diagnosed with cancer, and apparently went 3 rounds at Jose
Quinones, bro.
Quinones. That's a huge fight.
This guy beat cancer.
Yeah.
You don't think he's going to beat Guido Canetti? He beat cancer.
Yeah. Yeah. So
he's a fucking warrior, man. This guy's a warrior.
Yeah. Not very many people who even fight can say they've done that. So and still doing it. So hey, he's got a high right hand block. Looks good when he lands his hooks. He has body jabs and body kicks as well. So if Guido wants to play that game, he can definitely play it right back. Good at measuring jabs, and I actually thought he won that fight with not won it, but he did really well for a guy who's come back from cancer on his first fight. A guy who pretty much goes rounds with everybody. So I got Rivas on this one, man. Pitbull's got it.
Yeah, let's fucking go, Pitbull. Next up we got Jared Cannonier versus Dominic Reyes. Cannonier.
Really? Even after the size difference?
No. I'm just saying
Oh.
Cannonier. I'm just saying his name.
Oh.
Um, fucking took on John Blakovic. I had 5 units on Cannonier against John Blakovic. You know what happened?
Yeah.
John
Yeah.
Blakovic fucked him up, and people are saying to me, "No, oh, he went 3 rounds with John. No one's knocked him out. This. John Blakovic fucked him up. I had 5 units on him in that fight. He lost me my money. I know exactly why he lost me my money, and it's because he wasn't the more active fighter. He comes forward with his hands down. He thinks it's the Terminator. He gets
He fights
punched
when
in
he
the
wants.
face. Exactly. He fights when he wants to fight. He does, and there's times like against the Glover Teixeira, he doesn't choose to. And if he gets grappled here against Dominic Reyes, who definitely has a strong clench, he's done. So, but I even think in the striking exchanges, he's gonna have a tough night ahead of him. I think Dom Reyes has that reach advantage. He's gonna use it to his advantage, and he's gonna box up Jared Cannonier. He's got some crisp boxing. Dominic Reyes, nasty head kick on Jordan Powell, so we know he's got the flexibility, the balance, everything. Um, so he can hit those head kicks as well. He's got nasty weapons. Trains under Joe Daddy Stevenson at Cobra Kai. Uh, he's just this guy is just legit. He was I think a former King of the Cage champion. Um, he's gonna come in there. He's gonna throw body kicks. He's gonna throw head kicks. He's gonna throw a lot of 1-2s, and this is just gonna be a good fight overall. I think, guys. I think Dominic Reyes has this. I think Dominic Reyes is gonna be the longer fighter, the rangier fighter here. I think he's gonna be able to play his game and play it well. So I
Yeah.
got Dom Reyes here. I got 2.5 units on Dom Reyes at minus on Dom. I got 2.5 units on Dominic Reyes at minus 250 to win 1 unit. There we go.
Dominic Reyes, super tall, 6'4". He's already got that, and he hasn't really been challenged in the UFC as of late. He's just been kind of moving people out of his way. Vicious ground pound, triangle body lock, great weapons actually, due to his size. I think the best thing I've seen against him was I think Jeremy Kimball did a pretty good takedown on him once. But other than that, I mean, I think Dominic Reyes went on to win that fight in the end anyway. Whereas Jared Cannonier, I agree, he went round to John Blasquez, and generally he is a fighter who's been in the UFC longer and should be more of a veteran in the ring. But I think because of that fact that he only really likes to fight when he wants, when his opponent doesn't want to fight him, they're just not there for a lot of his damaging blows. And for Dominic Reyes to have the height on him, and he can stay at pretty much a good punching and kicking range to just keep Cannonier out. And if Cannonier doesn't decide to show up that night, you either win by decision or you've clacked him early. He has a really big overhand right, and he catches people when they're out of stance a lot. Jared Cannonier is really good at that. He has to use a lot of his strengths to blast out of certain things, but I don't think he'll be very good on the ground. I think Teixeira was able to kind of move him around and do whatever he wanted with him, pretty much. Jared Cannonier definitely comes in with a big intimidation factor, but once that wears away, as people are in the octagon with him, I think people have more and more success. Obviously Jared has an H-bomb right hand, but I mean Dominic Reyes is pretty big as well, and I think he'll have his own to combat him. So I got Dominic Reyes as well in this.
All right, cool. Next up, we got Alexa Grasso versus Tatiana Suarez. And Grasso hasn't looked that good in the UFC as of late.
No.
She was a good Invicta fighter. She used to have She still does. Crisp striking. Very good boxing coming from Lobo's Gym, I think. That's what it's called, Lobo's Gym, with Irene Aldana and whatnot. But sorry, I I don't know. I think she is able to, especially when she's getting clinched against the fence, against the cage. She looks like she's having a bit of trouble and she's not strong enough to reverse the position. Against Tatiana Suarez, that's a big problem because Tatiana Suarez is going to put a lot of pressure on you. She's going to grind you. She's going to take you down. She's going to grind you. She's going to ground pound you. She's going to work for submission on the ground, especially that head and arm choke. She's going to look for that. A lot of people were underestimating her against Viviane Pereira, and then you saw what happened there. She just like pretty much just like mauled her.
Yeah.
And not much else I can say, man. I think Tatiana Suarez mauls Alexa Grasso here as well. I think she gets her down numerous times and just imposes her will. So I got Tatiana Suarez all day here. I got five units on her with Andrea Lee and somebody later in the card. For five units plus 104. Andrea Lee, Tatiana Suarez, somebody later in the card. Let's fucking go. Let's do
it. Tatiana worked her way through tough. She actually took out ABC Cooper while she was on her, actual knockout spree and looking like a pretty big threat. And she got her out easy. Really, really ugly guillotine by Viviane Pereira. But I mean, very good at rolling people from side on her back, going for chokes, keeps low when she stands on her feet, always ready to jump in, always seems coiled up and really fast when striking tends to get mixed up. Suarez puts a lot of uncomfortable pressure on people and gets top position and just lays on top, lays the punches in the ground pound. Very deadly choke artist. I think Alexa Grasso is a firecracker. I mean, she throws bombs with the best of them. It does seem like she has a difficult time getting a few people off of her. She tends to trade blows at Marcos a lot when I don't think she needed to. And that was a split decision. Very tough fight for her. Felice Herring also not a good fight, but at the same time, she didn't look terrible. And she does, when the fight amps up, she's there and she's really throwing. She's gonna keep that high pace and those punches in your face the entire fight. Even when she's losing, she does start pinning combos together. Busy boxer, always like 3-piece combinations. Not the greatest, crazy on the ground. I think that's where Tatiana Suarez kind of takes that one. So I think Tatiana's got this. So I think she ends up submitting her actually.
Yeah, I think so as well.
If she doesn't get in too many brawls.
Okay, so next up is the main event: Kamaru Usman versus Damian Maia. And man, this fight should go one of two ways: either a submission is gonna happen, or either a fucking beatdown is gonna happen. And I think it's gonna be the beatdown is gonna happen because you go ahead and you watch Colby Covington versus Damian Maia, and you watch the shit. Colby Covington was getting all striked by Damian Maia, in the first couple of rounds. He's getting all striked by Damian Maia, and then he started putting the pressure on him. He started defending all of his takedowns, putting the pressure on him. Would just let him up and beat him up standing up. And I think Kamaru Usman is that type of guy who's going to bring that pressure forward, never going to let it up. Has a nasty jab, good footwork, switches stances a lot, which is going to keep that takedown from happening. 3-time All-American, Division II national champ, fucking just a great wrestler. I think he's one of the best wrestlers in the division, if not the best in the division. Um, yeah, and I think he shows off his takedown defense here, and I think he gets a knockout on Damian Maia or a TKO on Damian Maia. I think he bloodies him up, gets a TKO on Damian Maia.
Yeah.
Because Damian Maia is going to be tired after that third round of just pure shooting. This is 5 rounds, not 3. So that's going to be a big difference for Damian Maia. I think Kamaru Usman's ready to make that next step. So I got Kamaru Usman here. 5 units with Tatiana Suarez and Andrea Lee. Plus 104 to win 5.17 units. Let's go.
Yeah, I pretty much agree. I think Kamaru Usman's shown he can power out of a lot of good submission fighters. I mean, he fought Warley Alvarez, and I thought that submission was in there. I mean, I think where I had him hanging on the edge, and Damian Maia has a lot of submission potential. He's been able to get that body lock on people and pretty much keep it on and get it on every single round after. But it's not going to be easy against Kamaru Usman because you have to stand with him first. And you're face-to-face, and Damian Maia's boxing has failed on occasion. I don't exactly think Kamaru Usman can wrestle him similar to what Tyron Woodley did or what a lot of other people have been able to do, but I can see him powering out of a lot of moves. George Masvidal was a split decision. That was a bit of a difficult fight. And Damian Maia has proven to do well in a lot of difficult fights. Like, I didn't see him beating Carlos Condit, but he ended up doing it. And even Neil Magny and Matt Brown top fights and gets through them, submits guys. I mean, Kamaru Usman has lost one fight by submission, and I mean, possibly Damian Maia can be that second and really have it, but I think that's the only way he can win a decision. I can see Kamaru Usman landing a lot more damaging shots that make Damian Maia commit less and less to the stand-up and only really defend. But I can see Damian Maia locking up something really quick, possibly off the fence or maybe even similar to what Alves set up on Kamaru Usman, maybe if Kamaru Usman smells early victory and keeps going for it. But I think Kamaru Usman wins in more ways than one, and I think Damian Maia only has that one big submission win on him. I don't see him winning it by decision. I don't see him knocking him out. So I got Kamaru Usman for this one.
Yep, and there you have it, man. The breakdown of UFC Chile, Maia versus Usman, bets, breakdown, predictions. You guys already know where to go for that, the Sebs show. And I'm happy to break that one down. Again, one more time, my bets for the weekend are 5 units, Kamaru Usman, Tatiana Suarez, and Andrea Lee at plus 104 to win 5.17 units, 4.5 units, Diego Rivas, minus 150 to win 3 units, 3 units, Enrique Barzola, minus 177 to win 1.69 units, and 2.5 units, Dominic Reyes, minus 250 to win 1 unit. Let's go, hashtag UFC Chile. Let's fucking get it, guys.
Everyone, cash those bets.
Cash those bets, guys. Let's get it. And give your boy a like on this video. Just hit the like button below. It takes fucking 2 seconds. You guys already are boys for that. Yeah, just right there. Click. Yep. And yep. Thank you so much, guys. Cash those bets, and let's happy May 4th to everyone too, celebrating Victoria Day as well. All right. Take care, everyone.
Yeah, have a good one.